we want to welcome India Amble. Hello, India. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So let's get right to it. India, tell our audience, what was your upbringing like and where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born in Baton Rouge, but I grew up in Port Allen, Louisiana, right across the river. I went to Holy Family Catholic school from kindergarten through 8th grade, so I really was a cross the river kid. And after that, my parents moved to Baker and went to school at Baton Rouge High, the magnet school, and started running track there. And after that, went to Southern, did my undergrad, and then my master's at LSU. So, I mean, my upbringing was really, really good. You know, my parents worked very hard to make sure I had everything I needed and was able to do any activities that I wanted to do. And it was just really good. Like, I can't remember anything that would make me, like, hate my childhood or anything like that. I think it was actually really good.
That's awesome to hear. Now, let's talk more about your introduction to sports. You mentioned that you started running track and field in high school, but before that period of time, were you introduced to sports through your father or maybe your parents, or was it just something that you naturally gravitated towards?
Oh, absolutely. My parents introduced me to sports at a very young age. Very competitive family. We were always doing stuff outside, whether it's just playing football, volleyball, or whatever, just kind of doing things. My dad was an athlete. He played football, basketball, baseball. He ran, and my mom also ran track. So both from an athletic family. And I started, competitively running in school in high school, but I ran at Holy Family, and I did summer track starting when I was like 10 years old. So I actually started running, as a kid at 10, middle school.
Okay, let's talk more about your track and field career. You mentioned that you ran collegiately at Southern University, which is, some of our audience members are familiar with Southern and some are not. Southern University is a historically black college and university. It's in the SWAC conference, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. It's in the same conference with Grambling State and Jackson State and Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M and Alcorn and Mississippi Valley State. I wanted to ask you, what was the collegiate track experience like at Southern?
Oh, man, there's nothing like it. I mean, I learned so much. I met so many people, and I got to work with Coach Johnny Thomas, who's one of the best coaches ever. I mean, he just had such a different way of coaching and had a way of teaching us things that, with other coaches, they would be scared to tell you or they didn't know how to tell you, but he was not like that. He was very old school, and everything we did was old school, but we learned a lot, and we were very successful there. So, I mean, I wouldn't trade my HBCU experience for the world.
Did you have a chance to win any titles or any championships during your time at the university?
I actually did. I am a SWAC champion in long jump, and that was in 2008.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. So now, before your collegiate career, did you have a chance to win any trophies or win any awards in your track and field career?
Oh, definitely. I went to Junior Olympics. Like I said, I started running when I was 10, and I went to Junior Olympics every summer from when I was 11 all the way through my senior year. And I was an All-American from Baton Rouge High, All-American in long jump. So indoor long jump, we competed at the Armory in New York, and I got 7th place there. So high school All-American as well.
Did you have the opportunity to try to compete on a professional level, or was this something that you only did during your high school and college years?
It was only something I did in high school and college, and like I said, I had been running since I was 10 years old, so by the time I got out of undergrad, I was ready to take a break from track.
Okay, cool. So now let's talk about an interesting career that a lot of African Americans are taking part of. That's the world of bodybuilding and fitness.
Well, we got introduced to it from my husband and I actually got introduced to it from one of our friends from high school. His name is Ryan Hinton. He's a very successful bodybuilding coach. But he told us, we should try it out, and it was something we would be good at as we were sitting at the table eating Italian food at Carrabba's, tons of bread, tons of carbs. And I was like, yeah, I don't really think that would be for me. And, before I knew it, ended up doing a diet and trying to get ready for Bayou Muscle competition, and did my first competition in 2014. And I ended up fourth place in the novice category in bikini and the height class.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And then I did the open class as well, and I ended up in third place in the open class, which would be the athletes who had competed before as well as any new athletes who wanted to. So I got third place in that category, and so after that I was like, okay, well, this might be something I could possibly do. So after that, I did one more competition that year, and then I took a break. And because I did national qualifying competition, I was able to compete in 2015 at the Miami Nationals. And I didn't do so well there. I got like 15th place out of 33 girls. And in order to become a professional classified as a pro, you would have to get top 3. So I didn't get it that first year, but after that, I competed again in 2 shows in 2016 and got top 3.
What does your diet consist of?
Lots of fish, ground turkey, tons of asparagus. I'm lucky if I get some broccoli every now and then. I get about 2 protein shakes a day and close to 2 gallons of water a day.
Do you ever? We know that steroids is something has casted a dark cloud over the sport. I wanted to know, have you ever used performance-enhancing drugs throughout your athletic career in order to get ready for a competition, or have you just maintained taking a natural approach?
Absolutely not to steroids. I just feel like if it's not something that I can do naturally with maybe the help of some protein or something like that, then it's not for me. There are many other things in this world that I could spend my time doing, and I just don't feel like steroids is something that would benefit me in the long run. And it kind of taints the sport and prevents people who might have a chance with a natural body to even want to compete in the sport. So I don't promote that, and it's not something I would ever do, and I just feel like you're right, it does taint the sport and kind of put that dark cloud and make people just steer away from it completely. But there are still people who try and do it the right way. With me having an athletic body from just the sports and the muscle memory that I have from 10 years old running track, a lot of that stuff is the way my body is built now. I have a lot of muscle mass that people who start bodybuilding later on in life don't have. So if it's something that a coach tells you, these steroids will help you get there faster, I think sometimes people take the chance, but it's nothing that I would ever do and nothing that I condone or, would give anyone else advice to do.
All right, that's good to hear. When you're competing in competitions, do you ever get nervous in terms of how your other competitors are coming in, whether they're using performance-enhancing drugs or not? And if so, do you ever still feel like you don't have an edge, or do you come in feeling confident, knowing that you put your faith in training and the people that have helped you get contest ready?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm always nervous in competition, no matter what. It doesn't matter who's coming. If I was running against, like, Jackie Joyner-Kersee, or if I was running against some kid who just started running yesterday, I don't take anyone for granted, and I'm always nervous. But I do believe in my coaches and all the work that I put in, so it's not that I'm not confident in myself. It's just the nerves of getting up on stage and having to compete against somebody and having to be actually judged by this panel of people that you've never met, and everything is so subjective. So, of course, I get nervous, but I never doubt myself as far as my ability and if I'm not good enough. That's not the case at all. I'm very confident in myself, my abilities, what I look like, and how I feel on stage. And if you're not, it does show on stage. You can't really get the stage presence that you need, and that's also something that judges look at whenever they're comparing you to others.
Now let's talk about your personal training career. How did you jumped into the world of personal training?
My husband was really into the personal training thing. He kind of got into it first, and after he did, I kind of just followed along, and we both started just trucking away in the world of fitness.
Now, did you and your husband start off with a business, or was this something that you guys did on the side?
It was actually something that he did on the side. He actually has a degree from Southern University in engineering as well, but he did that for a few years and realized it's not what he wanted to do, so he got certified as a personal trainer and started doing it on the side. He worked at the Y, he worked at Breck for a little bit and kind of was doing his own thing for a while.
Tell our audience what other projects that you're working on.
Meal prepping, I do. Since I've been into bodybuilding, I kind of had to find ways to reinvent fish and make it not so boring and make my food taste good without being able to use lots of salt. So I've started doing meal prepping.
India, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. I very much enjoyed it.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.